All right, lesson 3, topic 3, day 1, first day of this lesson. This warm-up, it looks a little different because this time we are using the quotient rule. I told you every day is going to be a different laws of exponents. So here we go, x to the fifth divided by x to the second. So according to the quotient rule, you subtract exponents whenever you have the bases that are the same. That's it. So this is going to become x to the third power. This one here, c to the fourth divided by c to the eighth is c to the negative fourth, which is the same thing as 1 over c to the fourth. Now, typically in the directions, it's going to say you can never use negatives exponents in your answer. It can never leave them in your answer, so you have to change them to a positive exponent. But it doesn't say that here, so I didn't have to do that. I could have left it as either answer. This case, the 5 divided by, well, there's a coefficient here of 1. 5 divided by 1 is still 5. And x to the, let's see, negative 4 minus negative 9, which is the same as negative 4 plus 9, would be positive 5. Done. All right, I got to move myself here. See here, x to the third times x to the fourth is x to the seventh, divided by x to the second is x to the fifth. Now, I could have divided like right here and then multiplied, and that would have been the exact same answer as well. All right, so now we've got, we got a bunch of things going on here. So now we've got quotient rule inside, plus we've got power to a power rule. So we got to do power to power rule first. Just like you are solving expressions, when you're solving these expressions, because that's what they are, you have to do what's in the parentheses first. So m to the fourth to the third becomes m to the 12th. Ooh, I almost said 7th. Ooh, that would have been a mistake. So, and here we go. 5 is a coefficient, because you remember in the last warm-up, coefficients have to be raised to that power. 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 again is 125. N to the 9 times 3 makes 27. And that's actually the answer, because there's nothing here you can simplify. M to the 12th over 125, n to the 27th. All right, so over here, we've got 3 is a coefficient. So 3, 9, 27, 81. 81, x to the 28th over 2, 4, 8, 16, y to the 48th. Ooh, that's not showing up very well. 48th. There we go. And I could simplify maybe here. So I look at 81 and 16 and think to myself, do they have anything they can both be divided by? I'm not thinking of anything off the top of my head, especially since 81 is an odd number. It doesn't have a whole lot of things that can be divided by. I'm going to leave it the way it is. All right, last one. Oh, the easiest question. I love this one. Anything to the 0th power is 1. All right, we got all kinds of rules going on here. The quotient rule is about whenever you're dividing things, you have to subtract the exponents. And we've also got some power to a power rule there, which is on a previous one. And we've got some 0 exponent rule there. All right, so we got a little bit of everything almost in here. And we got product rule right here. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. All right, so this lesson is about a continuation lesson. So this is basically us looking again once at how things could have been the same. So this one is about kilobytes of memory being dissolved. Oh, no, we're still on the yogurt one. I'm sorry, that's the next lesson. So we're still talking, oh, here we go. So we're still looking at these numbers and saying, oh, okay, well, the second column and the third column can be the same. What caused them to be the same? Well, don't forget that Lupe's was starting 3 minutes later. So when you're going to say that this 64 represents 4 to the third power, then you would have to say, well, this 64 represents 8 to the power of x minus 3. And this is a little bit of a change from a previous lesson. The only difference is the fact that why is it x minus 3? Because it started 3 minutes later. So this is actually started 3 minutes later. So if we were referring it to 11 o'clock, this one it was at 5. So it's really 8 to the 5 minus 3. So 5 minus 3 is the second power. 8 squared is 64. Ooh, there's the answer. So 11:05 is 5 minutes later. 5 is x. 5 minus 3 is 2. 8 squared is 64. All right, good. Alrighty, so then how many bacteria written as power of 4 would be in Sally's yogurt after 11:30? Sally's was 4 to the 11:30 would be the 30th minutes. How many bacteria would be written as power of 8 would be in Lupe's yogurt at 11:30? So that would be 8 to the power of 30 minus 3 because it started 3 minutes later. Well, the value of t at 11:30. T, what is the value of t? Okay, well, how is you supposed to use t instead of x? So what's the value of t at 11:30? So t would be 27. And the reason why is because you have to subtract those 3 minutes. At what time would there be 4 to the 35th bacteria in Sally's yogurt? That'd be at 11:35. At what time would there be 8 to the 29th power in Lupe's yogurt? Ooh, that would be at not 11:29. That would be at 11. Yep, you guys at 32. The reason why it's 11:32 is because he started 3 minutes late. Got to add those 3 minutes. All right. At t minutes after 11 o'clock, how many bacteria would be in Sally's yogurt? After t minutes, that would be just the number to the t power. At t minutes after 11 o'clock, how many bacteria would be in Lupe's yogurt? Well, that would be t minus 3 because you have to subtract those 3 that were not included. All right, so these questions are basically just leading you towards solving these word problems. So it's leading you towards doing questions like this. So we want to make the bases that are the same. So 125 is the same as 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 again is, 5 times 5 is 25 times 5 again is 125. So this is 5 to the third power. So 125 is 5 to the third power. Keep the x there. Equals 1/5 is 5 to the negative first power. Keep the x minus 8 there. All right, so now we got to use the power to a power rule. 5 to the 3 times x is 3x equals 5 to the negative first. Got to use the distributive property. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 8 is plus 8. Add x to both sides. Ooh. Add x over here. So now we get 4x equals 8. And yes, you can see the answer already. Divide both sides by 4. The answer is 2. All right, question number 9. Using what we have learned, how would you solve this equation? I would make them both base 2. I know you're thinking make them both base 4, but 8 cannot be changed to base 4. It's not possible, at least not without using decimals. Even then, it would be a irrational number. It would go on forever. 4 is the same thing as 2 squared. Leave the x there. 8 is the same as 2 to the third power. For whatever reason, it's not making 3's today. X minus 5 was already there. 2 times x is 2x. The bases, remember the bases wipe themselves out. Equals 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Now we're ready to solve. Now I know what you're saying. Usually I'm going to move the one that's smaller, but in this case I am going to move the bigger one. I'm going to break my own rule. It's going to be one less step. And I know that just from experience. Once you've done this many times, you'll do the exact same thing. I can look ahead and see, now that's going to leave me with divide both sides by negative 1, and the answer is 15. There it is. There's your answer. You could have, if you wanted to subtract 2x from both sides and then move the 15, yeah, that's fine. I just prefer to do it this way. Use what you have learned to solve. How would you solve this equation? Okay, I'm going to make them both base 10. 1,000 is the same thing as 10 to the third power. 10 times 10 times 10. Leave the x minus 4 there. Equals 100th is the same as 10 to the negative second. Leave the x plus 2 there. All right, bases are the same. Cancel them out. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Equals negative 2 times x is negative 2x, and negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. All right, so now we've got just ourselves a two-step equation. I'm going to stick with my rule, and I'm going to move the one that's smallest. It's going to be the easiest in this case. Add 2x to both sides. 5x minus 12 equals negative 4. Add 12 to both sides. Yeah, I'm running out of room, so I'm going to continue over here. Add 12 to both sides. Negative 4 plus 12 makes 8. Is that right? Because that's going to leave me with a decimal answer. Let me just double check to make sure. Add 2x makes 5x. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Negative 2x, negative 4. Yep, it looks like everything is correct. Yeah. Okay, so divide both sides by 5. X equals 8 over 5. And I don't have a calculator on me, so whatever that is. Oh, yes, I do. Here we go. 8 divided by 5 is 1 6/10. Alright, that wasn't too bad. 1 6/10. Alright, have a great day. Thanks for watching.